Yeah, I live what I'm dreaming, I think it, believe it. I get what I want and I get when I need it. I'm ready to work and I'm here to receive it. And I'll be the first to be grateful, believe it. I know what I want and I know that I'll get it. Set my intentions and never forget them, cause my greatest weapon is always direction. I give it attention, then I'm gonna get it. It's not how they see it, that's only perception. Be back in a minute, I'm kidding, I'm in it to win it. These casuals, they ain't gon' get it, cause I'm on a mission. Just listen, these bars that I'm spitting, I'll light a cigar when I'm sipping. It's job when I'm winning, a star how I'm living. A car that is tinted, so far from my limits. You think it's a fiction, but now I'm addicted. You won't catch me slipping, this life I be living. If I do it, she finish, she want it, she get it. She like when I hit it, she never forget it. We living like royalty, she come with loyalty. That shit is rare, but she never want more than me. Making that money is funny, we stacking them honeys. Just doing the things that we wanted, cause passion is purpose. I know that it's worth it, I do what I love and the cash is converting. I hate all the haters, but they do me favors. If only they knew that their comments make paper. They gone like they vapor, this beats with my neighbor. The bass is so loud that their house is in danger. My eyes on the prize and my passion don't lie. If I want it, I get it, my vibration high. Yeah, I live till I die and I'll do it just right. Do you like how the plaques on my walls hit the lights? And I'm just a white boy, yeah, I get it, but fuck it, I like rap, so I spit it. Yeah, I'm just a white boy with some rhythm. This beat in my system, I made it, no kidding. That shit it be hating, keep stacking my winnings again and again, like I'm making commission. This life's an addiction, addicted to winning. Each day got me grinning, yeah, straight from beginning. Yeah, let's go. I get what I want, I get what I see. I picture my life and how it's gonna be. Yeah, I get what I want, I get what I need. I know that I'm right where I'm destined to be. Yeah, I get what I want, I get what I see. I picture my life and how it's gonna be. Yeah, I get what I want, I get what I need. I know that I'm right where I'm destined to be. Yeah, I live what I'm dreaming, I think it, believe it. I get what I want and I get when I need it. I'm ready to work and I'm here to receive it. And I'll be the first to be grateful, believe it. I know what I want and I know that I'll get it. Set my intentions and never forget them, cause my greatest weapon is always direction. I give it attention, then I'm gonna get it. It's not how they see it, that's only perception. I'll be back in a minute, I'm kidding, I'm in it to win it. These casuals, they ain't gon' get it, cause I'm on a mission. Just listen, these bars that I'm spitting, I'll light a cigar when I'm sipping. It's job when I'm winning, a star how I'm living. A car that is tinted, so far from my limits. You think it's a fiction, but now I'm addicted. You won't catch me slipping, this life I be living. If I do it, she finish, she want it, she get it. She like when I hit it, she never forget it. We living like royalty, she come with loyalty. That shit is rare, but she never want more than me. Making that money is funny, we stacking them honeys. Just doing the things that we wanted, cause passion is purpose. I know that it's worth it, I do what I love and
Hello everybody and welcome to the South African stream of South Africa up against Malaysia in the WEC 2025. Brought to you by the IESF, and well, big shout out to mssa for allowing us to get the opportunity to stream and showcase what South Africa is all about on the big stage. And notice, this is the big stage. I don't think it gets any bigger than this moment.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. So for those of you tuning at home, we're going to be doing this more along the a watch-along style. So you will see the screen and the action that's happening, but we're going to be piggybacking off the main stream. We did get permission to do so. So it's going to be not so much the sound of the game as we're going to be running through this, but it's going to be the same quality of play, shall we say. I'm quite interested to see how South Africa are going to fare up against the strongest team in the entire WEC.
Malaysia. So I was looking earlier at the names and everything because I'm not so familiar. But then I heard some names like Momo, Yums, and then I thought, yikes.
Yes, exactly. It is going to be absolutely crazy. I'm just going to switch us to the stage, right? You'll hear Lotus and I talking as we go through this entire stream, would you? But they're showcasing everybody right now, as you can see. You've got those same pro players on stage. They're looking very relaxed. They're looking very comfortable. We've got Dangerous Grass as the selection, and Dangerous Grass has been the one that most people seem to love. It provides extra sort of camping opportunities.
That is true, and especially with those camping, you have to be so much more careful when it comes to rotation, which actually leads a lot to impact on the game itself.
Yes, you can't exactly how you can say this, just move into spaces that you previously would have just moved into. It's going to be difficult in terms of like how your decision making processes for rotations, because we always talk about, if we use the mage as, or the mid lane as an example, right? We always talk about how there's the safe path for mid lane rotations. So with the safe path, that path is no longer as safe as it is supposed to have been, as it would have been previously.
That's why the mage's rotation would take longer, so you have to pick a mage that have quicker rotation, like let's say a first. So you have to calculate all of these things in the entire time.
Yes. These changes, I mean, it's been about a patch or two ago that Moonton introduced this into the system. It has made things very different from how it previously was. I was just looking at Super Shady on screen. He knows he's on camera, but he's got his head down there. Maybe he's blushing a little, but Lotus, I think you should give him some lessons in how to do it.
It's just, it comes natural. You can't really teach someone.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that this time around South Africa have gotten enough experience to spare the blushes. We're already into the banning phase. As you can see, South Africa with 3 bans out, 2 focusing very hard on the jungle position. They've removed the Fanny, the Hayabusa. Esmeralda, since Esmeralda's been an absolute beast of late. Whereas Malaysia, they've gone for the more tankier removals. They've gotten rid of the Grok, right? Because Grok, as we all know, is a must-pick, must-ban hero at this particular stage. I'll be quite interested to see the statistics as to how often Grok managed to slip through that net and get picked up. Fredrin and Bashia being taken out as well. I think from the ban so far, you're going to be looking at Malaysia try to go for a little bit more of a assassin heavy composition. As you can see, South Africa, knowing the Lance is available at this stage in the banning phase, I mean, if Lance is available, you're gonna have to lock down the Lance.
Definitely, and it seems like some of the Middle Eastern teams seriously prefer the Lance, while we've seen the South African teams regularly pick up the Ascension, which did not work out the best for them.
Yes, not at all. But let's see how they're gonna plot to draft around this Lancelot. When you have an assassin in the jungle, you're gonna need a very strong mid lane duo, as in your roam and mage picks, because it opens the door for, like, see, for instance, you've got the Hilda pick coming through from the side of Malaysia. Whenever you go for an assassin, a very early assassin, you expect those Hilda picks, you expect the Khalid picks to come through, because they're these high mobility and they dish out a lot of damage kind of roamers. So there's going to be extra pressure placed into the jungle. South Africa is going to have to try to deal with this. I think a Zushin should be on the cards.
Zushin would also be a good pick, but also I think Hilda was a good pick because we were talking about the Dangerous Grass just earlier, and because of her passive, she's going to be able to push on this map right now.
Yeah, exactly. But South Africa seems to be sticking to more of their comfort picks. They've been playing the Uranus right throughout the match. He is a pretty decent disruptor. Can go in, force out, bait out skills because of that high sustainability. Kalia adds that just that extra edge of danger around team fights with the Tsunami Slam, and provides a bit of sustainability to help the Uranus out, because those are going to be your two frontliners. The question is, are South Africa going to decide to go for a fighter on the XP lane instead of an MM? I think they would, right? Simply because Malaysia have already locked onto the monster, the yo-yo monster in the CC.
True, dealing with the CC is very difficult, but Assumption getting picked up by the side of Malaysia, so they also have that late game capability going
And
for them.
and global vision. Well, we did expect the assassin, or in this case, the MM style of jungler to come through. Once we saw the bans from Malaysia, it was all of these tanky-ish kinds of heroes, which gives them the opportunity to place extra pressure in the jungle very early on. And YSS, after the nerfs, needs a bit more protection than he previously had. Just a little bit more protection. But with this MM in the jungle pick, I think we can pretty much state, even though CC is a flex pick, we can pretty much state that this should be a CC gold.
True, and with the CC gold, they can go for even a bit more tankier. They can also be hybrid with the damage. Just being able to give that extra capabilities going for the side of his team.
Agreed. CC, especially once it hits that just to that 2-minute mark, has high mobility, so can rotate quite quickly. And I mean, this is just an extra fighter into that first turtle dance that we would expect to happen. South Africa have to be very careful what they're going to decide to go for on the gold lane, because if they lose the draft matchup up against Malaysia, and what we suspect is going to be a CC on the gold lane, it'll make that rotation for Super Shady a lot more difficult. He won't be able to get out of lane quick enough to help the team at certain moments. Uranus, we know, will have a fairly decent time up against almost any XP laner. There isn't really anything that's going to cause him too much of problems. And so he should be able to rotate and provide that extra degree of protection. I'm thinking that Lindo is going to probably rotate towards that XP side. So once Super Light clears his wave, he'll be able to rotate across just to provide that degree of extra protection up against the Hilda. But in my mind right now, I'm thinking South Africa do need to lock onto the Zushin just to help deal with the Hilda in the early game.
I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I'm actually surprised they didn't pick up the Zushin earlier. But even right now with the Ascension also picked up Zushin, it's gonna be the mage to be able to deal with them, especially with her displacement paired with the Tsunami Saka coming out from the Kalaya. It's gonna be a good combo to work with, especially considering that how strong the team of Malaysia is gonna be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is the team to beat in the WEC. They are previous winners. They've also topped their group. And it's not like they're from the Southeast Asia server. It's not like their group to top it is an easy feat.
Zushin getting banned off from the side of Team SA I wasn't really expecting that one.
Yes. I also wasn't expecting it. I was thinking that they were going to try to come up with some mid lane strat to try to deal with the Hilda, because Hilda is going to be roam and placing a lot of pressure. Malaysia, on the other hand, they're rocking this double MM strategy. So they're putting like sort of a fail-safe in here. So if the early game doesn't go the way they'd want it to, but they've got two early game monsters in CC and Hilda. So typically you'd expect it to go the way they'd want it to. But if that doesn't, they've got the capability to scale very well into the late game with the double MM. They just need, obviously, their frontline to frontline, and then you got a YSS, you got a Kimmy. They really do hurt.
True, I think that's the better way to go for it instead of putting all of their eggs into one basket.
Yes.
Because Lancelot also a very late game can deal a lot of damage, especially if he gets left on check. But Lapu going to the side of Team SA with an Eve. I think Eve was the best.
Well, Eve does have that bit of poke and slow. Slow is one of the most underrated CC effects, in my opinion. Though with the mobility that comes out from a Hilda and the CC, I don't think that the slows from Eve are going to affect them all that much. Ooh, the Gatto pick. That's going to be devastating. Gatto right now, especially with that Revitalize and with the Hilda as well, and the same with the CC, we're going to expect a lot of early game pressure to be placed on the South African team. That South African jungle is not going to be safe. But let's see how they strategize, how they move. It's all going to come down to communication, trusting one another. But oof, the lineup from Malaysia is on point.
Definitely. It's gonna be very difficult for Team SA to actually be able to deal with.
Yes. Very, very. The Lapo pick could work surprisingly well. I think Lapo will have that ability to, around those team fights, around those neutral objectives, to disrupt the backline of the side of Team Malaysia, because they need to try to get to the Kimmy a little bit. And Lapo, once he gets into that full combo of his bravest fighter, can zone them away and at least get the damage dealers from South Africa into the mix. Though the real source of damage here is going to be Lindo. I can't really see much damage overall. I mean, Eve can dish out a bit of damage, but it's more poke damage than it is burst.
True. So, would you say the side of Team SA would be more mid to late game, or?
I would say it's going to be a bit of an early game composition, because except for the Lancelot, he's the only hero here that really scales well into the late game. It's built more to protect the jungler this time around, because if you think about the matches South Africa played previously, they kind of woofed when it came to protecting the jungler. I was feeling a bit sorry for Lindo, because he kept being constantly invaded. And this is, I'm talking about like from minute one. The counter jungle strategies that came out from both Turkey and Iran were very much on point. They were denying him farm, even though in the game against Iran, the second match, he managed to pull it back and get a certain degree of farm. It wasn't the easiest of early games. He hasn't had an easy early game ever.
That is true. So with them protecting the jungler, they might want to focus on that, because there's the saying where it's said, even the strongest chain, it's as weak as its weakest link. So as long as they can strengthen that link, they can maybe turn the game more into their favor.
Yes. Most definitely. I mean, Lindo does need that degree of protection. He has been playing these assassin jungles, and when you're being constantly invaded and it's a 3v1 situation, 4v1 situation, what are you really going to do? You can try to stick around and maybe out-retry for the buff, but you're going to take a lot of damage, a lot of poke damage, especially now with the picks that the side of Team Malaysia have, right? I mean, you look at a Hilda in the early part, level 1 Hilda. Level 1 Hilda can kill a Lance like it's nothing.
True, especially now that we also think about her bushes, the extra bushes coming out. So she's just going to be able to invade, continuously heal up without any issue. And like you said, all of that at level 1.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Hilda, I've been singing about Hilda from the time that the roaming patch first came out. I was like, this hero is now going to be properly meta, simply because of the way she can utilize that. Though will they be playing the Hilda in the roam? Because you got a Gatto, but I think it's Hilda's best position is roam right now. But we're going to be heading into the matchup very, very soon. It's so nice to look at the players here on the grand stage, though, with their water and the fans and everything, and the cameras in front of them. Busy smiling away, which is a good sign, because there's a lot of pressure to be placed, when you're on a stage like this.
Yes, and for South Africa, for esports players, it's much better to be relaxed and smiling. It's not like when you're playing rugby and you get all hyped up. You have to stay relaxed for esports.
Yeah, well, actually, it's in any sport. It doesn't really matter the sport. You gotta have that relaxed vibe. Granted, you get hyped up with it, right? But it's that attitude of just, positivity. We can do this. We can win, no matter what the obstacles are. Though, in this case, right, South Africa are up against absolute giants. These are players everyone knows and loves, and I mean, I can't tell you the number of times I've been watching these guys on the pro scene and just screaming out whenever they like make those crazy plays that we've seen them do. The skill, the talent that they possess is otherworldly.
True. So South Africa doesn't maybe even win, but they definitely get to be able to fight against these giants and learn from the best. So
Yeah.
it's actually a pretty big honor to watch our team go against them.
Yeah, that is true. But into the jungle we go, as it is both the junglers starting off on the blue side. And so there's already, as we expected this. We expected this early game pressure. You got Humes already placing some pressure here into the jungle. The engagement here, Lindo poked down. It's the contest around the teddy bear, but Clear into the mix here. Tries to get that set up, but Clear taking a lot of damage, has to flicker back to safety. But South Africa somehow survived that early game pressure. Lindo did not lose the farm, but just watching Humes into the jungle once more. But then look at the poke damage onto Super Light here on the Rainers by the Hilda. She's just turning around, dishing out the damage. Humes is just waiting patiently. He knows there's no retribution, but Malaysia, they're just saying, you know what, we have the early game potential. They just took some farm away from South Africa. Lindo has to recall and move across. He will be able to get level 4 with that smaller creep behind the blue buff, but will be slightly behind in farm. As you can see, Malaysia just piling on the pressure.
But with the Kalea continuously protecting the Lancelot right now, it does make things a little bit more easier for Linda. And we have a pause.
Well, apparently it's not just South Africa that does this.
One silver lining.
One silver lining. Yeah. It's the reason why a lot of the South Africans who are tuning in here, we like to have our pause meta. And then it's the reason why we introduced those referees into the lobbies and stuff, just to make things a little bit quicker, to get the pause up and running and going. We're just watching now. I think it's going to be some technical difficulty when it comes to the headsets here. Because, communication is the name of the game. You don't really want your communication to be not on point. Because, how else are you going to get your shout-outs for who's going in to do what? But it looks like a little bit of issue with the headsets from Team Malaysia.
But thank goodness now they have also referees that are there to just be able to help them. And like our online tournaments, they're literally there just beside you, waiting for you to see if something is wrong to fix it.
Yes. It's a difference when you're playing in the LAN events. The pro stages or the pro scene, the LAN events are the way to go. But with us, right, in SA, we've got more of an amateur scene running. So online tournaments, it's not like we're going to be able to say, hey, everybody, let's fly out and participate in Conquerors of Dawn. Because who's going to be funding all those plane tickets?
It's true. Maybe sometime in the future, as
Maybe.
the esports scene gets up and running.
Exactly. Hopefully very, very soon. But the noise that comes from the crowd, it does amp you up a little bit.
I think that's also why they need to have these big headsets that they're wearing right now. Just to be able to deafen the sound outside, you need to be able to focus on the match. True.
Very, very true. But having played on the sports scene myself, right, I must admit, granted you have the ability to tune out the sound, but the sound that comes in from the fans, it makes a huge difference. Oh, nice poke damage coming out from CC onto Super Shady, forcing the Lapu back underneath the base. He's going to have to recall very quickly. Meanwhile, there's some action down around the turtle, as Malaysia have already gotten themselves into position. They're waiting for the zoning capability, super light, trying to make the rotation across. He does not have level 4. Hilda does, and they're forcing everybody out. It's gonna be super light in the mix. He's gonna be first blood. He's gonna get taken down there. Momo manages to secure that kill for his team. That Hilda damage is crazy. They tried to go for the contest. It just didn't work out. Look at the poke damage here onto Super Shady. He doesn't have the bravest fighter to try to escape. Kimmy dishing it out, but it's going to be Loliel with the pick off there on the CC, and then once more we should see some pressure coming through. Meanwhile, Yumi already trying to set up for a bit of a jungle invade. ISS came in here but realized, okay, there's a little bit too much people around, but Hilda doesn't seem to care. She's in a 1v4 situation, but the tsunami snap grabs Hilda underneath the turret. Will this be a kill for South Africa? Yes, finally we get a kill onto the board. Nicely done. But at the same time, look at this. We were always talking about this here, Lotus. We talk about the trade-off potential. As Hilda created that space in the jungle, look at how much of the turret gold was eaten up by the Kimmy.
This Kimmy, also with her being a marksman, but we do see the Avatar of Guardian landing not onto anyone just right now. And, okay. That was a bit anticlimactic.
Yeah, well, it was a nice Thorn Rose coming out from Lindo just to dash back, use the Phantom Execution to get back to safety, sense that he was going to be in a lot of danger. It's going to be the Mountain Shocker thrown out here by the YSS. There's Eve trying to get the zoning done. Bravest fighter from the Lapu Lapu has been committed, but look at what they're doing and the understanding of how this game works in terms of trading from Malaysia. CC goes underneath the turret. We know CC is an early game monster, has a lot of early game potential and pressure. They're creating the space to get Kimmy fed. So Kimmy just ate up the gold shield from there. And with this now, you understand that like Kimmy, who needs these items to come online, is just being fed.
And she managed to get the mid and the top lane, just getting all that gold onto herself. And once she gets that Feather of Heaven and even the concentrated energy, as well as the glowing wand, it's going to be very difficult to deal with her.
Yeah, it's going to be GG's because she's going to be sitting behind this very tanky front line that the side of Malaysia has. I mean, look at the pressure, the amount of aggression from them. They're going in, ISS into the front line. There's Lapu Lapu with the bravest fighter, but the dash back and the turnaround on point as they secure a kill at the Kimmy. Once more, will be pushing in that mid lane, trying to get the farm going. As the same with CC as well. Did not rotate across with the team. Pressure being placed across the map. And look at this wave cut. There's a Phantom Execution into the mix here. But it's a Gatto and Hilda. It's not the easiest heroes in the world to try to burst down. Oh, but nice. Ult coming in from Juju there as he secures the kill. That real world manipulation. Manipulated the dash away from the Gatto. Revitalize even being used, but the pickup coming in there from SA. They're keeping close in terms of the kills. It's 3-2, but the farm lead is significant.
Being around what? It's now 4k gold lead, especially so early into the game. It's just been almost 6 minutes. But this Kimmy continuously eating up the gold, it makes things very difficult, and South Africa is gonna struggle when it comes to the condition for objectives.
Oh, what a sidestep from Stormy! What is this, man? Ultra instinct moves here. Like, I was watching Lindo come in with the punctures, right? So he's building up those stacks. He should have his War Axe more, should be completed by this particular point in time, right? So I was just watching those punctures come in. I'm like, okay, Thorn Rose, there's the damage. And then it's just, Stormy just sidesteps. And you're like, what is this? What is this? What is this? Look at CC just eat up a Uranus as if a Uranus was not a tank.
Definitely, and once again with this engagement here in the mid lane, and this YSS just dealing so much damage right now, but is coming out from the Lancel right now, just trying to escape, but CC once again going in, getting his killing spree.
Yeah, that was some brilliant macro play coming up from the side of Malaysia. They timed that engagement beautifully. Avatar of Guardian laid at just the right time. As Eve hit that real world manipulation, they come in with that count. And now with the map being open, it's mid lane turrets being taken down, top lane, bot lane. So the map is now much larger for the side of Malaysia than it is for the side of South Africa. So you're going to start to see the farm snowball. Because we do know how these the Asian teams play. Southeast Asia, and as you go even further east, it's farm heavy styles of play. It's the reason they created this counter jungle meta as a way to just introduce a different mechanic for increasing the farm. Nice real world manipulation coming out. There's the bravest fighter as Team SA. They managed to get a couple of pickoffs here. Mountain Shocker, the first phase coming in through from YSS, but there's Gato. He's making the rotation across with CC. It's a 3v5 situation here for in favor of South Africa, but Gato, he pops the Revitalize. He's taking a lot of damage. However, there's CC into the backline. It's a mega kill. They're chasing on. Avatar of Guardian comes in, but the flicker away to safety for Juju. However, the chase is on. Uranus, he's trying to soak up the pressure, but Sakai is just dishing out the damage. There's Napu into the mix. Super Shady wants to try and make YSS pay for the overextension, but he just baits everything. Mountain Shocker back into the mix. He turns it around. What micro skill is that? That's literally godlike play from YSS.
Definitely. With the entire game, South Africa was 5 versus 3 in their favor. And then the side of Team Malaysia managed to use their micro and macro just to be able to turn that entire team fight around, getting a wide as well.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to that part when Super Shady tried to go into onto the YSS, right? He stepped like maybe 3 steps back just to avoid, and then goes back in. It's like he moved just the right amount of distance that you needed to move away to avoid the CC. That is some next level micro to understand the range of skills on all the heroes that you're up against. And even though South Africa, I mean, they started off with a decent rotation style. They were trying to stay fairly close in terms of the kill count. But the skills that come out from these Malaysian players, I mean, you're just looking at this combo here onto Super Light. He's forced back from the Kimmy, especially the damage coming through there. It's just insane. Oh, there's the Avatar of Guardian. Soon as Eve casts that real world manipulation, but the Tsunami Slam comes through. Gato, he pops the Revitalize, but he should be taken down underneath that tier 3 inhibitor turret. So South Africa, they're getting a couple of pickoffs here and there,
which does work in their favor, but especially as they get that bounty money, it's just going to be necessary for some discipline from both teams. But this YSS managed to take a Lapu down on his own. Basically, the entire way he sidestepped the skills and managing to counter it, it was like watching a duel from the old times. Just feign attacks and then just going in for the lunge.
Yes, I agree with you. Sort of like a fencing match. Beautifully executed, I will say. But Malaysia, it's inspiring, in fact, to watch players with this level of micro. Leave the macro aside, right? Their understanding of the game, the way they actually got Kimmy fed very early on, created space for YSS. It was, there's the Avatar of Guardian into the mix, but the Tsunami Slam trying to be used as a counter here. Real world manipulation, nicely done here by Juju. The Phantom execution into the backline. However, YSS, he's got that Mountain Shocker. He's used the dash away. Can Super Light get this? It's a shutdown kill going the way of Juju there as the defense comes out from the side of Team South Africa. It's a 3-2 in their favor. They have lost an inhibitor, but I think they would be happy with this. They live to fight another day.
That's been a bit of their trend in the past few days. They just manage every time with every single match. Their defense gets better and better against these big Asian teams. So with them having these defensive capabilities does work in their favor. This way they can last longer and get the more necessary farm that they need, especially for the Eve.
Especially for the Eve. I mean, Juju's play on the Eve this game has been awesome. It's 3-2 and 7 in his KDA. His timing of using the real world manipulation has been very, very, very much on point. He's been using it just as everybody goes in to try to escape. So South Africa, I mean, they're doing fairly well, especially considering the giants that they're up against. Granted, this may change a little bit because South Africa does not have, in terms of draft, that snowballing draft. You're going to have to really prioritize your farm onto Lindo because he's your main source of damage, and possibly Juju as well. Since he's doing so well, maybe you're going to have to build Eve a little bit more with that burst style to try to deal with it. Lindo uses the puncture to get away, throws out the Thorn Rose. There's a Phantom execution. They manage to take down Lowly on that CC. Nice pick-off there for the side of Team South Africa. They're punishing any overextensions here from Malaysia, keeping themselves well within the game. It's the goal lead has reduced a little bit. It's getting a little bit closer towards the 5K mark. The question, oh, there's concealed play coming up from South Africa. They realize there's a potential to pick up. It's going to be Kimmy dancing back the phantom execution, but it's Super Shady into the back line. He takes down the Kimmy. He gets blown up as well, but Momo gets that kill. However, Team South Africa, they're still on the hunt. YSS with that mountain shocker goes in with the setup, manages to take down Juju, who's been causing so much problems. Lindo with the potential to try to escape. Oh, but the flickers come through. But look at the damage here from Mr. Guys on this YSS. He's a one-man army. He's on a triple. He's like, give me the maniac. Come in here, Uranus. I want you. It's good. Will he be able to get it? I think the timer is going to be a little bit too long. He gets the mega kill. It's a wipe. It's going to be the base wide open. What an execution in here. Super Shady tries to get the defense going, but the lock is on, and that's first blood the way of Team Malaysia.
About 2 seconds and he essentially could have gotten a maniac, but that entire play coming out from the side of Malaysia was very well done. They got the kill, Lapu Lapu onto the Kimmy, but then Malaysia turned around and took them all out.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, this is what you expect from these pro teams, as pro players. They're so good at understanding how their draft timing works. Because we were talking about draft timing previously. We were saying, you know what, draft timing is a massively important thing. South Africa doing a lot better than I expected, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I want us to win, but I am not naive to the fact that we are versing the best team in the entire competition. There was hope, but I was like, okay, this might not be so good. It might be a little bit rough. And then they pull out a performance like this. It just goes to show the more exposure they get to playing on this level, on this stage, the better they're going to become. And we need to have this as a consistent theme here in SA. The phrase is a very popular phrase, Lotus, is iron by iron is sharpened. So you can only be as good as the competition that you consistently face up against. So I'm hoping that the viewers at home, especially those from South Africa here, you're going to look at this, the standard of play, the level that the players are in this competition, and you look at yourself as an individual, as a team, and say, right, don't say, oh, this is it, they're just too good. You know, look at it as a bar that's been set, and you need to raise your game to that level.
I mean, that's the only way to actually really improve, and that is how the best gamers, the best players, and even the best sportsmen in the world are created. Is they see these best people and they train like them, they think like them.
Exactly. You gotta set a standard. You gotta have a bar. You have to have a target. Though I am gonna be very interested to see what this team, the South African team, is gonna be like when they come back to South Africa. I'm expecting them to be devastatingly broken and destroy everybody on the server when they come back with all the XP points they've been picking up here. It's like an RPG in real life. This is their training arc. They've just leveled up.
Definitely, and as long as they keep just leveling up, making sure, like you said, to not feel down about it, but to see this bar that's been raised in front of them. And like you said just a few days ago, is then one day they're gonna come back and they're gonna beat everyone.
Agreed. I mean, in comparison to the Malaysian Turkey game, I mean, Turkey destroyed SA, right? And then they in turn got to face up against Malaysia, and Malaysia showed them some levels as to how this works. South Africa, with the improvements that they've shown throughout the competition, wow. I mean, they actually, in my opinion, they did better than Turkey did in their matchup against Malaysia.
That is actually a pretty big claim considering how South Africa struggled against Turkey. I mean, you and I watched that match. They got a rough beating coming from Turkey, shall we say. But now with them having better stats this match, it does give hope.
It does. I mean, that first game, if you think about it, it's the very first game. Turkey is from Europe. They've got the European style of play is very different from the way we play. They also have professional coaches, and they've got a full-on system where, I mean, they've got all the support that they need to help develop and grow players, and they have an actual pro scene in the mix as well, right? Whereas South Africa, a lot of our players are self-trained, and you can see that they have this ability to be self-sufficient, because as we went game by game throughout the tournament, you could literally see the South African team get stronger and stronger. They struggled against Turkey. Iran was much better. This performance may be the best from them so far, and it just goes to show the best is yet to come. I am quite interested to see what's going to be happening in the draft that's going to come out in the next matchup, because I will say maybe one of the weaknesses, one of the things that really needs to be worked on here in SA is our drafting.
That is true, because like we saw from Malaysia, they had the two marksmen and also those two big frontliners just to be able to carry out through the early game. Make sure Kimmy gets fed. Yisan Shin also got fed during the entire match. They managed to focus on late and early. South Africa was mainly focused on the early to mid. And then you have Mage that didn't really fit into the competition, and they threw out a Mage that would have worked better, which was the Zushin.
Yes,
and
yes.
Malaysia wouldn't have picked up the Zushin, I think, because of the Lancelot. Zushin gets countered by any dashing heroes or heroes that can just jump onto her out of nowhere. So
Yes.
they wouldn't have picked up the Zushin.
Yes, agreed. But I mean, even though I would say Eve wasn't the best in terms of picks, the way Juju played the Eve in this match was on point. He was one of the stars, if not the star player for South Africa in this particular game. So a big shout out to him as we'll be getting ready for the next match very shortly. Here, when you're playing on the main stage, it's a little bit different from all the other previous streams that we ran for the South African, both ladies and men's teams, where you just go in from game to game, you jump in from one to the next. This is not on the main stage. Here they make a bit of a show of it. So you're going to see a lot of time being given to the players. They can go and prep, they can talk to their coaches, they can come up with strategies and discuss, because you do learn a lot from the game that you played. You understand play style, you understand who likes to overextend, where the aggression comes from, what strategies they're going to be using. And I will say this, right, the way Malaysia understood their draft and gave the gold to the right people at the right time, and the trade-offs. I mean, we were talking about the especially the Kimmy, the trade-offs for the Kimmy. Kimmy was picking up gold everywhere. And a fed Kimmy is so scary, especially when you can't get to her.
True, because she has amazing range, amazing pushing abilities if she was left alone. And then also when you just need help for an objective, she can easily just take it down for you.
Exactly. Right. But with that being said, Lotus, we're just going to go on a quick pause just for a minute or two, and then we'll be back with everybody as the draft kicks off in just a few. So stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back in just a second.
I'll be back in a minute, I'm kidding, I'm in it to win it. These casuals, they ain't gon' get it, cause I'm on a mission. Just listen, these bars that I'm spitting, I'll light a cigar when I'm sipping. It's jar when I'm winning, a star how I'm living. A car that is tinted, so far from my limits. You think it's a fiction, but now I'm addicted. You won't catch me slipping, this life I be living. If I do it, she finish, she want it, she get it. She like when I hit it, she never forget it. We living like royalty, she come with loyalty. That shit is rare, but she never want more than me. Making that money is funny, we stacking them honeys. Just doing the things that we wanted, cause passion is purpose. I know that it's worth it, I do what I love, and the cash is converting. I hate all the haters, but they do me favors. If only they knew that their comments make paper. They gone like they vapor, this beats from my neighbor. The bass is so loud that their house is in danger. My eyes on the prize and my passion don't lie. If I want it, I get it, my vibration high. Yeah, I live till I die and I'll do it just right. Do you like how the plaques on my walls hit the lights? And I'm just a white boy, yeah, I get it, but fuck it, I like rap, so I spit it. Yeah, I'm just a white boy with some rhythm. This beat in my system, I made it, no kidding. That shit it be hidden, keep stacking my winnings again and again, like I'm making commission. This life's an addiction, addicted to winning. Each day got me grinning, yeah, straight from beginning. Yeah, let's go. I get what I want, I get what I see. I picture my life and how it's gonna be. Yeah, I get what I want, I get what I need. I know that I'm right where I'm destined to be. Yeah, Yeah, I get what I want, I get what I see. I picture my life and how it's gonna be. Yeah, I get what I want, I get what I need. I know that I'm right where I'm destined to be. Yeah, I live what I'm dreaming, I think and believe it. I get what I want and I get when I need it. I'm ready to work and I'm here to receive it. And I'll be the first to be grateful, believe it. I know what I want and I know that I'll get it. Set my intentions and never forget them, cause my greatest weapon is always direction. I give it attention, then I'm gonna get it. It's not how they see it, that's only perception. I'll be back in a minute, I'm kidding, I'm in it to win it. These casuals, they ain't gon' get it, cause I'm on a mission. Just listen, these bars that I'm spitting, I'll light a cigar when I'm sipping. It's job when I'm winning, a star how I'm living. A car that is tinted, so far from my limits. You think it's a fiction, but now I'm addicted. You won't catch me slipping, this life I be living. If I do it, she finish, she want it, she get it. She like when I hit it, she never forget it. We living like royalty, she come with loyalty. That shit is rare, but she never want more than me. Making that money is funny, we stacking them honeys. Just doing the things that we wanted, cause passion is purpose. I know that it's worth it, I do what I love and the cash is converting. I hate all the haters, but they do me favors. If only they knew that their comments make paper. They gone like they vapor, this beats from my neighbor. The bass is so loud that their house.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream as we head into the banning phase. We're going to have that up on screen very shortly. This time around it was Malaysia with the first picks, first bans coming through, as we're just going to transition into that. Let me get this up for you Lotus as well, so you can see what's going on, as it is time for the banning. We've got Malaysia. They've already banned out the Zushin, the Grok, the Gatto. South Africa went with the Fanny. I mean, you don't want to give Sikais the Fanny, but that's just like an auto win condition. The same with the Basha being removed from the equation as well. So South Africa has got some interesting bans. And Momo with the Kalia pick coming out early on. So we're going to get to see Kalia to run through this twice.
The Kalea, even in the previous match, wasn't too bad coming out from the side of South Africa, especially whenever the CC or the Helldive were extended. Filates was just grab them, throw them into the turret.
Yeah, exactly. I did like his sets there, dragging everybody back into the turret. He got quite a few pickups for the team using that style of play. But what will they be doing now if they've removed the Kalia from South Africa's hands? It is one of their very favored picks.
That is true, but I'm getting picked up for the side of South Africa. Okay,
so
early on, interesting.
Yeah, so they're going with the Yuzong. They do like to go for the Yuzong pick very early, but I'm not a fan of it. Not the pick itself. The pick's a pretty decent pick, fairly strong. It's just not one that I'd say should be a prio pick. There are a lot of other prio picks into the mix. I mean, CC is still available as one of the options. You've got Lance that's still available. You've got the YSS still available. I mean, it looks like they want to go for more of a tankier lineup here. And on Malaysia trolling us, they picked 3 of the South African picks from the first game. That's kind of crazy.
It's gonna be interesting to see what they want to do with that right now, but when it comes to the Akai pick, I don't think Akai should really be picked up so early into the matchup. Especially not when you think about when he's good when it comes to disrupting team and when he can pin someone to the wall. But Valentina is not too shabby.
Yeah, though with Valentina, Valentina is there to maybe steal the Tsunami Slam right now, and also it's a bit of it's a pick that I would say is a preventative pick. So you still have the gold lane to be picked up, and you still got the roam to be picked up. Not the roam, sorry. You've got the gold lane and the mid lane to be picked up. So you're going to have to be a little bit circumspect, a little bit careful with a Valentina into the mix here. Kai is the reason that you pick up an Akai is to contest for neutral objectives. That's his, especially if you're picking up Akai in the jungle. That's his purpose. There is no better hero at securing neutral objectives than an Akai. You have the discipline, you time that heavy spin, you get to pin the enemy jungler down, you're going to have that heavy spin lasts so long, you're going to get a free retribution.
The heavy spin is one of the longest ults, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it is. It's a very, very, very long timing. I mean, the amount of CC that it produces is crazy, but it's a very high skill. You're going to have to time it very nicely.
Fortunately, you can't really get to this stage without having enough skill to be able to deal with heroes like an Akai. So both these teams have a lot of micro skills that do work in their favor, especially outside of Malaysia. As we have said earlier, South Africa is still, the members are very self-trained, so their style of play sometimes don't always work the best with the heroes, but they progress and they learn with each match.
Yeah. So the way South Africa should look at this is a bit of a learning experience. Though from the performance that they had in the first game here, I gave me a little bit of hope. I mean, I understand Malaysia was strong and they weren't at any given time in a losing position. But for South Africa to get as many pickoffs as they did, and those smaller moments of outplay, you could say, oh, you know what, that's something where there has been a definite degree of improvement.
Definitely. But looking at the bans from the side of both teams, I honestly think Kimi was a good ban.
Yeah, the Kimi and Lunox ban, the Lunox especially, considering that South Africa is going to go for this more tanky-ish lineup. The Matilda ban was, I would say, pretty much an auto ban, knowing that you've got an Akai in the mix, and Minnow, interestingly enough, being removed from the equation. I haven't really seen the South African team pick up Minnow into a lineup like this. Minotaur would have been quite devastating. Considering he provides that extra degree of CC. He's sort of a hybrid. He's not exactly a full-on tank roam. He's not exactly a support. He's got that hybrid capabilities, and especially if you rush the Flask of Oasis. I wouldn't say pick it up as your first item, go and build some of the smaller items, but you should try and aim for around a 7.5 minute Flask of Oasis on Minotaur, and then you will see the team fight capabilities have this massive power spikes. But South Africa deciding to go for the Franco pick as a bit of a hard counter to Lance, because they're scared of when those punctures come through. One bloody hunt will be all it takes to lock that Lance down.
That is true. So Franco actually, I think a Franco is not too bad a pick. I'm not a fan of the hero, not at all. Everyone knows my stance when it comes to the Franco. But some, especially people like Vilatizi, can seriously play the Franco well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if he's going to be able to do what we like to see with the Franco, that insane early game disruptability. As he just maybe we'll get to see him do a flicker hook on one of the buffs. Maybe. I know it's a little bit of sometimes kind of like a little bit of a troll play, right? But my goodness, Franco is he can cause quite a bit of chaos, right? We've got the Nathan pick. Or the town pick as the final pick coming through from Team SA. So this time round they've got a decent amount of late scaling ability and have the potential to carry this through. If Super Shady can dodge those ultimates coming out from, or at least the engagement from the Lancelot, that would be good. If he can use the repositioning ability of a Nathan to escape the Lance, it could turn those team fights around in our favor.
Definitely, but I'm also interested to see the Nathan Granger match. But in Nano picked up from the side of Team Malaysia is actually pretty interesting because the ultimate itself isn't so powerful without throwing out the Pokemon Melina. So even if the Valentina manages to steal the Melina Blitz, it won't have too much of an effect, I would say, unless she can combo well with the Franco.
Yeah, well, it's good. The The Nana there as a pick, right, is number one. It's a bit on the strange side. You don't often get to see a Nana being played on the pro scene. But Nana has the ability, because of her passive, to escape the Yuzong to a certain degree, and she does hard counter the Akai with that Molina doll. The Molina Blitz is just sort of like a finishing maneuver. South Africa not opting to contest for those neutral objectives, and this time Velocity not going in with the Franco to give us those TikTok highlight videos, shall we say, with a Franco iron hook on the buff with the flicker. Playing a little bit circumspect. Very quick rotation here from Malaysia. They want to try to get onto Super Light. He's underneath the turret. Humes just baiting out. Wanted to go in for the dash. There's Velocity with the iron hook. Doesn't manage to land onto anybody. I think he was just trying to steal that little bit of XP farm away. But the team of Malaysia, with those quick rotations across the map now, just trying to gain a little bit of vision control. They're trying to go in nice. Foresight there from Juju as he dashes back to safety underneath the turret.
For the side of Team South Africa, they're gonna have to have a lot of vision, which the Franco sort of provides here. But with the rotations coming out from the side of Malaysia, you have to know where Malaysia is for the side of Team SA.
Yeah, there's gonna be the Thorn Rose into the mix, as it's gonna be first blood onto the Franco. That's the one thing you can say about a Franco, right? Nice pick since you have the Kai and you have the Yuzong, but if he gets engaged upon, he's not the tankiest of tanks.
That is true. Even when you build him full defense, for me, he still struggles as a tank specifically. But Lapu managing to beat the Yuzong and heavy spin coming out from the Akai right now. But beautiful iron hook out from the Franco right now. But unfortunately, did not have the Bloody Hunt just in time.
Oh, Tsunami Slam, stolen Tsunami Slam from Juju, but it's gonna be punctures. Torn Roses are plenty. As Kaiser's into the mix, uses the Phantom Execution, manages to get one more kill. But Juju, he tried to get to safety underneath the turret, but Stormy, saying I'm from down under here, throws out a boomerang and secures a kill. The fight is still on here. They tried to Tsunami Slam Veracity back into the mix, but he manages to walk it off, get back to a little bit of safety. But this game, the early start, the pressure here from Malaysia has been very much on point.
Definitely. I mean, almost 3 minutes in the game, 4-0. And spree, managing to make it 5-0. It's a bit difficult to deal with, especially if you have almost 3k in your favor.
Oh, look at this play here from Obi on the Granger. Solo kill onto the base that there. Super Shady sent back to base. They're putting a lot of pressure onto Franco. He's not being allowed to rotate. Heavy spin being baited out at the same time here by Lindo. He's going for a recall, wants to try to get closer towards his buff, but the communication from Malaysia on point, there's going to be no buff when he gets there.
Definitely not. And with Lancelot being already already one level ahead of the Lindo right now, almost going to be 2. But this Lapu onto the Yuzong, not giving him any breathing space whatsoever.
Yeah, forcing out the Black Dragon form, so that's going to be no big Black Dragon form ultimate as we're heading in towards the second turtle of the match. It's going to be difficult for South Africa to contest this. I would say, you know what? Leave the second turtle. We're not in a position to contest this. There is quite a huge goal lead. It's about 4.5k goal lead. It's gonna be once more the Thorn Rose. This Molina blitz coming out from Stormy. I mean, we don't get to see Nanas being picked up very often, but my goodness, Nana has been on point.
That is true, and with them, everyone leaving the Granger alone, he managed to get that entire golden bar coming out from the turret. And this is not what you want for Grangers to be able to farm so early, coming out from the enemy team. But if he gets farmed, he gets the stacks quicker, he gets the items quicker, and then it's going to be very difficult for South Africa.
Oh, nice iron hook into the Bloody Hunt as they manage to secure at least a pick up first kill in the board for South Africa. But are they going to pay for this? There's the Thorn Rose coming out once more from Sekai's on that. Lancelot, the jungle invade is in there as well. They get the steal once more. And achieving objectives. I mean, South Africa did manage to get a pickup, but punished for it as the Super Light now underneath the turret has to get back to a bit of safety. Lindo's like, I have a buff. I might as well take it while I'm here. You know, some arms to the poor.
That is true. But just making sure to take the buffs. It's right now he's just going to have to farm wherever he can while trying to avoid any contests or fights But Malaysia had to look out for this Franco.
Yeah. The hook did land onto... there's a tsunami slam into the mix, but Akai uses the heavy spin to get back out to safety. The hook did land onto Lancelot there. There's another hook with a bloody gun, but the follow-up is in from the team. They're just blowing everybody up. They're like, turret damage. What turret damage? Skypiercer procking as YSS now tries to get a bit of a counter engagement, but I don't think that'll be the wisest course of action. It's just super shady. And but the Petrify does land. However, Super Light taking a lot of damage. There's the engagement from Clear. They're sharing the damage. I think the entropy comes out from Super Shady, but he's not being able to do anything right now with that entropy being cast. But lane turret being pressured in. Tsunami Slam. It's like as soon as you arrive, it's like they're greeting you at the airport with that Tsunami Slam.
That is true. And once again, with this engagement continuing, due to MC getting taken down as well, the user didn't throughout the entire match. I didn't even see his passive proccing even once with the way that the Lapu Lapu was playing. And even now, when he was against so many people, he couldn't really get that out. So it's very difficult for South Africa to even sustain some of these fights.
Yes. Franco went for that Winter Crown, rushed the Winter Crown. I was wondering why he was a little bit on the squishier side, because he was rushing the Winter Crown build. But then you'd have to position yourself a lot safer if you're going to go for that. And it looks like Malaysia, one of the things, I don't know if you've seen the hand cams of the pro players, the amount of times they flick through to seeing what items you're building. Once they know that you're not going to be building any bit of tankiness on a Franco, you're never safe.
That is true, and that's actually why it's so important for the players to learn how to just look at those items, because items is something so many people neglect, but it has such a big impact on the game.
Yeah, it's a MOBA. Power spikes based on itemization is everything. And so you constantly check what your enemy is building. You know how you can adjust your playstyle to it. There's the conceal play coming up from Clear. She's trying to find that angle to go in. But already we have one. Make that 2 Holy Shields coming down. The Molina Blitz with that Molina Doll combo is devastating right now. South Africa is not being able to handle that a counter initiation skill that Malaysia have brought to the table with the Nana. And with this, we've got a minute to go for the Lord. There's a Tsunami Slam. Stolen Tsunami Slam was used, but the drag back here onto Franco of Velocity. As we said, he's not the tankiest of boys naturally, and I mean, you went for the Winter Crown build. It's not going to be a very tanky at all. Lapo into the backline. Momo throwing out that Bravest Fighter. It's going to be the Puncture dashing around here. This is like a TikTok highlight from Sakai. It's going into the mix. Bravest Fighter does that. It's godlike for Lolio on that Granger throwing out the Death Sonata. Entropy coming in here from Super Shady, but that's being used to get back to the base without the Lord even being up. That's going to be 1, 2, tier 3 turrets. The inhibitors are down. Granger, he's got the stacks. He's dishing out the damage. He goes in. Skypiercer procs. This could be it. The base is wide open. Juju left alone. They're not interested in the base. They're hunting him down. He gets the stolen Tsunami Staff. Somehow he survives this. It's going to be Super Light with that Black Dragon form coming out. Gets the setup. It's a shutdown kill. But Lance, he's dashing through here. The heavy spin. South Africa manages to get a bit of a defense going. Could this turn around to bite Malaysia in the backside? You know, trolling like that around the fountain.
It could. I mean, this could have been one of the earliest games that we've seen so far, almost ending at 8 minutes, 36 seconds. And then you wanted to overextend and you got caught out by Valentina, who keeps stealing your Kalea's ultimate. It was actually bound to happen.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that base is so low. Oh, they do manage to take down Velocity one more time. They're chasing down Super Shady as Momo gets that pick-off kill. South Africa trying to contest the Super Light is next. Lindo hightailing it out from here. He's going to try to do a Kung Fu Panda and escape. Use that Kung Fu skills of his just to get away from all the danger and hopefully buy enough time for the team to respawn and get the defense. But it's a guys, he's not even interested in allowing any bit of safety. Goes in with that Phantom Execution. Used the Thorn Rose earlier, so couldn't eliminate and finish off the Valentina there. But once more pressure being placed here as they chase down Franco, who's trying to walk away. He's creating a bit of distraction. Maybe to try to buy the team some time. However, it's going to be the Black Dragon form coming out from Super Light. He's engaging onto Momo, but Momo's sustaining through all of this. Now the damage dealers are into the mix. Death Sonatas are raining aplenty. The waves are in here. They've got enough angle to lock onto the turret, and Nana throwing out those skills just finally finishes the game off, and that's clean sweep to Malaysia in a very dominant fashion in the second game.
Definitely. In the first game, I was a bit more on the even side with the way South Africa played, but here they just got
Wrecked.
Yes, you said it, not me.
Well, look, it's there are levels to this game, and I'm not saying this in a negative light. I mean, if you think about it, you'll get a lot of the players will receive a lot of hate and stuff like that for the performance that they showed in this particular match. But I look at it this way, right? Do you think I could have done a better job than any one of them on that stage? Not in your lifetime. So they played to the best of their abilities. We understand that South Africa has certain disadvantages compared to other areas in the world. I'm not using it as an excuse. I'm just merely stating it as a fact. The support structure here is in its grassroots stage for Mobile Legends, because Mobile Legends is newish on the scene here in South Africa. I mean, you compare this to games like we were talking about statistics wise, or we were talking about the statistics of say PUBG versus South Africa versus Mobile Legends here in South Africa. PUBG has 528,000 weekly unique players here in South Africa, whereas Mobile Legends is just 20,000. So it's in its grassroots stages, it's growing. We hope that a lot of the sponsors will take a look at the fact that South Africa has potential and that they're going to be growing and getting better with time. But as you can see, they've got the players, the coaches from the side of Malaysia up and running. And so with this, Lotus, we will have the opportunity to bring our stream for the evening to a conclusion.
Evening? I thought it was afternoon.
Oh, well, afternoon. I'm a little bit ahead of time. I'm thinking about what comes next in my schedule. So, unfortunately, right, as entertaining as it was, to cast these particular matches is, and especially the first game, hats off to the boys. They performed much better than any of the games that they did previously, especially against the powerhouse, the monster that is Malaysia. So hats off to them. Well played. A big shout out to the IESF and the mssa for giving us the opportunity to showcase these games here for the South African audience, the South African fan base, as we will hope to see a lot bigger, better things in the future from our South African guys and girls, as they will continuously be on the big stage. I mean, there is no bigger event in all of esports in the world than it is for the WEC. I mean, brought to us by the IESF. But on that note, Lotus, we're going to have to say good night, or good day, rather. Or as I was saying, right, depending on the world, where in the world you're watching from, it's either good morning, good day, or good night. To everybody who's tuned in to watch. We will catch you all on the next stream. Sadly, this will be our last stream for South African teams in the IESF. Maybe we'll do a couple of watch-alongs if we get the permission to do so, like we had for this particular stream. But thank you for everybody who tuned in to watch. We really do appreciate all the love and support that we get from all of you guys. We will catch you all in the next stream. Thanks for watching. But for myself, Waylander, Lotus, it's good.